UFC 285 goes down on March the 4th in just under 2 weeks' time. So today I'm going to talk you through all of my main card and prelim predictions for the biggest pay-per-view of the year so far. Starting off with Damon Blackshear versus Farid Basharat. Right, okay, so we've got a couple of guys here that love the submission. They're both excellent on the ground. They've both got over half their wins by submission. Basharat won on the Contender Series last year, looked really, really good in getting the decision there. And I'm going to pick him to win, I think. UFC debut, young guy, full of hype. I think he'll win this fight by submission in the second round. But the experience is with Blackshear, so we'll see how that plays out. Next fight on the card, we've got Tabatha Ricci against Jessica Penne. Penne's been around for a while. Look down her record, she's fought the likes of Joanna and Andrade. She's fought some good people, but everyone's time comes, and I think Ricci is just in a better spot than her right now. I think she's fresher, she's 7-1. She looked really good against Viana recently. I think she'll win this fight by quite an easy decision for me. This is an early fight of the night. Lock in for me, this. We've got Cameron Saaiman against Mana Martinez at bantamweight. Unbelievable fight. 13 out of their 17 combined wins in their careers have been by KO TKO. I do think Martinez is slightly better on the ground and slightly more experienced. Saaiman is a massive, massive prospect, and I think he'll only get better from here. But I do think that Martinez will win this. I know that Saaiman is a bit of a favourite, but I'm going to go with Mana Martinez by KO in the second round. Right then. Big one to headline the early prelims. Ian Gary against Song Kenan. So, Kenan is a decent fighter and he's dangerous as well. 17 out of his 19 wins have been by finish. Ian Gary's on a different level though for me. This is the perfect layup for him. The perfect next rung on that ladder. Because people know about Song Kenan. You know, he fought Max Griffin, so he's a decent step up. But yeah, it's an easy one for Gary, I think. First round KO. Kenan is dangerous though. So he has got to be careful. Starting off the main prelims, we've got Julian Marquez against Marc-Andre Barriel. I like this fight a lot. There are a couple of scrappy guys who are literally just going to throw down with each other, I think. They're both coming off our losses. Julian Marquez got shit mixed by Robocop, but there's nothing wrong with that. Most people do. And then Barrio got submitted by Fluffy Hernandez. So they're both going to need a bounce back, and I think it'll be a good fight. Solid fight. Fun scrap. I do think that Barrio is slightly more polished, and I think that'll be the reason why he either gets a late TKO or a decision. Right then, next up we've got Araujo against Ribas in the women's flyweight class. So, Araujo got beat pretty bad off Alexa Grasso last time she fought. That performance and the strength of it is what earned Grasso the title shot that she's going to get at 285. As for Ribas, she lost a couple at strawweight and then bounced straight into the flyweight division and fought Shukagan straight away, which on paper sounds like a bit of a shit idea, but she proved why she deserved it. She was great in that fight. Very close fight. I thought she won it 29-28 personally, but she lost it. So I think giving her the number 8 is really smart from the UFC. In terms of the way it goes, Amanda Ribas's ground game is amazing. So is Araujo's, but Ribas is on a different level for me in that. I would say that Araujo is slightly more well-rounded. So for that reason, over the 3 rounds, I'm going to take Araujo by decision, I think. Close fight though. Co-main of the prelims. Here we go. Derek Brunson against Dricus du Plessis. First of all, how the fuck is Derek Brunson still a top 5 middleweight? I'm joking, Derek. I love you, mate. Nah, he's Brunson's a funny one, isn't he? He was supposed to get clapped by Shabazian, and he finished him himself. Kevin Holland was the bright new spark in the middleweight class, and he ragdolled him for 25 minutes. He seems to like beating prospects, does old Del Boy. But one thing that those two didn't have, that Dricus definitely does, is grappling ability. So there's a part of my brain that's just thinking, Derek Brunson's just here to beat all the top contenders and just hog up a spot like a fat piece of shit. Nah, I don't know, you know. All the smart things point to Dricus du Plessis, but I got this thing in my head. But I am going to go with Dricus. I think he'll be able to stuff the takedowns of Brunson and beat him up on the feet. I'm going to go with a decision for Dricus. 29-28 maybe. Quite a close fight, but a win for the South African. Right then, feature prelim. Now this one means a lot to me because I love Cody Garbrandt. I remember watching UFC 207 thinking, TJ ain't beating you. Marlon Moraes ain't beating you. If DJ wants to come up, he ain't beating you either. And he's won 1 out of his last 6 since then. 1 fight in like 5 years. So, hasn't quite gone well for No Love since then. But honestly, that singular performance is one of the best in UFC history. What he did to Dom Cruz was unbelievable. But like I said, he has been knocked out quite a bit recently. That chin is made of rice paper. Not good. But Trevin Jones, 13-9, 3-fight losing streak. I know you can't go off records, but it's too much of a step down for me. Trevin Jones will lose and get cut. It's an opportunity for Jones, you know. I haven't seen too much of him, if I'm completely honest, but it's a layup for Cody. I think he'll win by first round KO. He has to. Loses this one, he's out. He's done. Opening up the main card, we've got the ginger wrestler Bo Nickel against Jamie Pickett. So, Bo Nickel is obviously an unbelievable grappler. We know that already. The way he ragdolled those two guys on the Contender Series and just subbed them both in the first round was insane. Jamie Pickett's had 6 UFC fights, lost the first 2, won the second 2. He's been finished in back-to-back fights. So, he has UFC experience. I think it's a decent starting point for Bo. We can see where he is. But I think he'll submit him in the first round, take him down, beat him up, get a rear naked or an arm triangle or something like that. Short and sweet, really, this one. I think it'll be quite an easy first round sub for Bo Nickel. Oh, I'm excited about this one, you lot. Mateusz Gamrot against Jalen Turner. I know it was only announced quite recently. It was a bit of a short notice thing, but this is the future of the lightweights right here. Mateusz Gamrot, yeah, he lost to Dariush, but he had an unbelievably technical fight with Arman Tsarukyan last October. And then Jalen made light work Brad Riddell at 276. They're both ranked inside the top 11, I think, or 12. And I think it's a perfect fight with a couple of the future of the lightweight class, like I said. In terms of how it goes, I picked Turner to beat Dan Hooker quite easily. I think he would have subbed him. But with Gamrot, the man is just so big for the division, so strong. He can hold you down. He's got great elbows from top position. It's difficult to see a way Turner wins this, apart from obviously using his reach, landing a big shot, maybe a head kick, which he could always do. And he's also got good subs off his back as well. We saw that in his early career. Tough. I love Turner, but I'm going to go with Gamrot. I think Gamrot will win by TKO, ground and pound. But Turner will obviously rebound and bounce back. He's too good not to. Feature fight. Jeff Neal against Shavkat Rakhmonov. Okay, so Shavkat's the favourite for obvious reasons. He's an undefeated prospect. He's been looking very good recently. He was great against Magny, but Magny's kind of got that ceiling where if you get into the top 8 or 9, Magny can't beat him. Neal looked great against Luque. He is a finisher normally, but Luque's head is made out of vibranium, so no one's finishing him anytime soon. I think that Neal can give Shavkat problems, I really do. His takedown defence is okay, it's not great. I do think Shavkat could get him down if he wanted to, but if he stands and strikes with Neal, that left hand is very crisp. He's got very good, crisp boxing combos, Jeff Neal. The straight shots are very, very good. The hooks are nice and tight into the body, so it's a solid fighter in this welterweight class, and it's about time that the rub of the green that he deserves. In terms of the fight itself and a prediction, I do think Shavkat will win. I think he'll be able to mix the strikes in with the takedowns. But I don't see him finishing Jeff Neal, if I'm honest. I think it'll be a decision. Maybe 29-28, but probably 30-27 Shavkat. But I don't think Neal will lose much stock, if I'm honest. Co-main event. The first of the 2 title fights on this card. Valentina Shevchenko against Alexa Grasso. So, with Grasso, we already mentioned her earlier when talking about a beatdown of Araujo last year. She looked very good in that fight. Her striking was good as it always is. The grappling, she was able to nullify Araujo's grappling, which was very, very good. She looked great. Has she earned a title shot? I would say probably not, but I suppose if you look at the fact Santos is injured, Blanchfield just fought, Andrade's just lost, I suppose I can understand why you can't give it a Shukagian one, can you? So I understand it, I think, but I don't think Grasso has the style to beat Shevchenko. We saw in the Santos fight that she can be susceptible to takedowns. Her takedown defence maybe isn't great. She can land her own takedowns, but maybe the defence against a decent grappler isn't great. That's why I think Blanchfield could be a problem for her, but that's not important now. I think that Shevchenko is a better striker than Grasso and a better grappler than Grasso, so therefore I don't see much of a route here for Alexa Grasso. I can see this going quite similar to the Lauren Murphy fight. Domination and then a stop in the championship round. So I'm going to say 4th round submission for Shevchenko. She defends. And here we are, you lot, the main event. Jon Jones' return for the heavyweight title against Ciryl Gane. So, what do I think about this fight? Well, 3 days ago I thought that Gane was going to beat him. I thought the ring rust would be too much for Jon. I thought, it's a new division, how is he going to look, that kind of thing. And then I saw an interview with Ciryl Gane where he said he only started training when the fight became announced. Jon Jones has been training 3.5 years for this. Ciryl Gane got off his sofa 2.5 weeks ago. Don't look good for the Frenchman, that. Completely changed my opinion on this fight. I still think that Gane can cause Jonesy problems, I really do. I think the speed and the timing on the feet from him is wonderful. I do think him going southpaw would be a mistake, because he goes southpaw to put off his opponents. And Jones does the same thing. I think Jones' southpaw is actually better than Gane's southpaw as well. So if I was Gane, I would stay in orthodox. I would try and chop away at Jones' leg and then throw a couple of knees up there, maybe to try and put him off the takedown. I think if Jones gets a hold of him after what we saw Ngannou do to him, if a 250-pound Jon Jones gets a hold of him, he's in trouble. So yeah, my opinion on this fight has actually flipped recently. Originally, I was thinking a TKO for Ciryl Gane. Now I'm thinking a submission for Jon Jones. So I'm going to go with the Kimura in the 3rd round for Jon Jones. He comes back, he claims the heavyweight belt, pulls out Stipe on the mic, and hopefully we get that fight in the summer. So there we go. That's the predictions done. I'm probably fucking wrong, but we'll see. Make sure you like and subscribe, and check out me shorts as well. They go up every day. Cheers. Love yous.